Happy Father's Day to all Ghanaian fathers. Good evening and welcome to Newsnight. My name is Kenneth Jesse. Let's take a look at our top stories for tonight. To the aid of occupants of over 100 houses flattened through the overflow of rivers in the Commander Edina Eguafu-Ebrem municipality in the central region. Dairy processors decry high cost of factors of production, announce imminent increment in prices. Today is Father's Day. The inspiring and heroic stories, children's experiences, and fond memories of their fathers, plus lessons for young and potential fathers coming up shortly. And coming up in business, more jobs set to be created as Finance Ministry signs a 25 million credit facility with the government of India for the establishment of an assembly plant in the Ashanti region. And later, we take you to Europe, where firefighters in Spain and Germany struggle to contain fires amid a heat wave in Western Europe. Welcome to the program. Now, more than 100 houses in the Commander Edina Eguafu-Ebrem municipality in the central region are estimated to have been flattened following the overflow of some rivers in the central region. Some major bridges linking several towns and communities have also collapsed. Director General of NADMO earlier toured the affected areas. The National Disaster Management Organization is in Jukwa in the Chifo Himan Lower Denshura district of the central region to present relief items to persons who have been displaced as a result of flooding caused by the heavy downpour. One person lost his life as a result of the flooding situation. Several havocs, including the splitting of the Jukwa-Chifo Praso Road, were also recorded. Several persons have also been displaced from their homes. The Central Regional Minister, Marigold Asan, led a team to the area to assess the extent of damage done to lives and properties. A visit has also been made to the Commander Edina Eguafu-Ebrem district, where several persons have also been rendered homeless as a result of the flooding.
We had a bad news yesterday. It was Jukwa we heard first. So we're talking to Urban Roads, the Ministry of Roads and Highways, and they gave us the assurance that major contractor was on the road and that the contractor was moving to site to bring boulders to quickly put the interventions on the ground for people to be able to use the road. Just around that time, I had a distress call from the MC of Commander Edina Eguafu-Ebrem telling me about the disaster happening at its end. So we had to quickly move in to assess the situation. It was so pathetic. Honestly, a lot of people have been displaced and we needed to rush in quickly. And thankfully, we called on NADMO National, and they came in with the swiftest of what their legs could run to the region. And at 12 midnight, trucks of goods had arrived, and we are moving to the place to give relief items to the affected people.
Director General of NADMO, Eric Nana Ajiman Prempe, expressed worry about the disaster, adding that a dire situation is at hand should there be any further disaster, since the place serves as a food basket for the region.
We had a bad news yesterday about disasters that has happened in the entire central region, I would say. This morning we were at Winneba to sympathize with residents of many communities, Brazil, Elmina and other places. Most of them are at safe havens because they've been rendered homeless, and we visited them, and this afternoon we are presenting a number of relief items to them to help them stay in where they are today.
Meanwhile, a contractor has been mobilized to fix the portion of the Jukwa-Chifo Praso Road which was washed away. Work is expected to complete soon. Meanwhile, Assemblyman for Jukwa East, David Okanta, has ruled out that structures that got flooded were sited illegally. He says this is not the first time the Sorowi River overflowed its banks, but this is the most disastrous occasion. Some residents of Jukwa have also been speaking to Metro News about the incident.
This is not the first time this river has overflowed, but this is the dangerous one which has happened once. It hasn't happened before. So those buildings around, it doesn't come to the river. If they say it's illegal and this, I will not agree on that, because the distance within this distance here, it has not overflown like this before. Though it has been doing it intermittently, about 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, but this one is so serious. It hasn't happened before.
I will use this privilege to also thank Domiabra community. This community is Domiabra in Jukwa. Frequently, we use communal labor to do drainage system in this very community. So as this unfortunate incident happened, they all came around. Then we started what we used to do previously. So it is something that we have been using to help each other in this community.
In the morning, I think 3 o'clock a.m., then we crossed to the town. But immediately, like, we just wanted to come back, but immediately we came here, then the destiny has happened.
We heard the news early yesterday morning, and since that time, we have done all we can, including getting in touch with everybody who matters, particularly the Roads Minister, who, according to him, immediately dispatched his rapid response team and even directed a very resourced contractor working on the Chupras stretch to come in. Fortunately for us, the bridge itself was not affected, and the engineers have confirmed that. It is the road itself that has been washed away, and therefore, as you can see, boulders have been brought in. About 9 trucks this morning and last night have been brought in, and they are working so quick. I'm pretty sure even by close of day, they can open this up to traffic.
Akwesiado is our man on the ground, and he joins me via phone to share with us more about the situation. Akwesi, good evening. Welcome to the show. What more can you tell us?
Okay, good evening, Ken. So as of now, a contractor has been commissioned to fix that particular portion of the road as soon as possible in order to give access to commuters. We are expecting that hopefully by tomorrow morning, the road should be opened to traffic, because any delay would cause much discomfort, as it is one of the major roads in the region. And as we do know, the area also serves as the region's food basket. Now, Ken, it is gratifying to mention also that the various households that were affected have received interventions from the National Disaster Management Organization so far. And then we do also know that there was other side of the region which was also heavily affected. That is the Commander Edina Eguafu Abrim municipality, where we had several houses also getting flooded as a result of the torrential rains. Now, the Central Regional Minister, Mary Godasan, and then the National Director for NADMO have paid a visit to that particular part of the region also to get first-hand information on the welfare of the people so far, and then giving them some relief items. Now, among some of the interventions that have been put on place, Ken, is that we have had the Naval Command also deploying officers with speedboats to assist movements within the communities where the waters are yet to drain. Now, we do know that apart from the Jokwa Cape Coast Road, which had a portion being washed away, the Ankafo Elmina Road and then some other critical bridges were also washed away. According to the minister, plans are put in place to ensure that all those roads are also restored swiftly, so that residents within those areas can also move about. Now, let me personally say that moving around the region in the last few days, and per my personal observation, The region is likely to witness much devastation should it continue to rain as it has been in the last few days, Ken.
Right. And where did the victims sleep last night?
Some of the victims have been lodging at churches, mosques, and then school compounds. Those who are very fortunate enough to have residents nearby have moved in to live with those residents. But let me also mention that when you get around to the Mankesim area, that is the Mfantsiman municipality, there are several communities like the Kwekrom, Akobima, Krado, Odumano, and Kawonsro. They have also been cut off from the municipality because their road have been washed away since Friday. But it seems because the Chifu Praso Jokwa happens to be a major highway, it's taking a center hold of the whole conversation. But we are having several hundreds of farmers in the Mfantsima municipality who are also not able to move. Now, from Friday until today, there's not been any vehicular movement around that area of the region also, Ken.
Right. So what's the plan for the scores of people who have sadly lost their homes to the flood?
Okay, so according to the Central Regional Minister, Mary Godasan, the Regional Coordinating Council is putting measures in place to ensure that the persons who have been heavily affected may be given some sort of support in the coming days. But for the meantime, the most important thing is finding where they may be resting their heads, of which they are making some sort of interventions in that regard.
Thank you very much for speaking to us tonight. He's our correspondent in the Central Region. Now, Gari and beans lovers may soon have the amount of Gari they get decreased, or for others to get a quantity at a rather exorbitant rate, as processors of Gari in the Central Region have announced an imminent increment in the price of Gari. This, according to them, is to cushion their businesses against possible collapse. There's more in the following report filed by our Central Regional correspondent, Akwesiado. For communities like Bontoku, Ahentia, and Bontrase in the Ewutu Senya district of the Central Region, Gari processing serves as a major source of employment for several women. However, the current seeming unfavorable economic situation is gradually pushing them out of business, hence their desire to increase the price of Gari. They explain that prices of cassava at the farm gates, transportation, labor and milling costs have all increased. Consequently, these women want to have the price of an olunka of Gari sold at 15 cedis instead of the current 10 cedis.
Ye bottom nso aba 15 cedi. Say champagne no yede. E kwafa wa habema ebuwom. Champagne beje. Idi kogwa so champagne beje ansa na afiri ni so eje, ansa na anyina so eje. Nti yesre mo se mutira ma announcement ya na kire mo olokodo ne.
Ahmed operates a small-scale cassava mill. He says the small machine he uses has had its price increased from about 800 Ghana cedis to 1,350 Ghana cedis recently. He says the rising cost of petrol has also pushed him to further increase his charges.
First, the papa we and 8. Will be on we 5 cedi, you do I'm 75. Then they win answer. And the win answer. Hey, making them Nancy, I'm a quarter better 1 year you. 1 year, I'm a quarter 9.5. 9.5. And then ended up where we got to be 13.5. Which is
Now, the Minister of Food and Agriculture, Dr. Owusu Efriakoto, has debunked claims that there's food crisis in the country. According to him, the incessant hikes in prices of food in the country is due to increment in petroleum products and not due to scarcity of food.
The minister told the Legacy Crop Improvement Center at Otaraso in the Kiapem North, Ibro's farm in Kwame Diodukrum, Pinora Company Limited in the West Achim Municipality, and Shama Farms at Mimpong, and TK Farms at Krodua Trinyame in the Upper West Achim District, all in the Eastern region, as part of his 6-day working tour of some selected regions.
80% of cost of production has gone up, and we saw it even in the presentation today by the regional director in Eastern region. Prices at the same time if you compare prices this year, January, February, March, April, May, compared to the same 2021, 2020, 2019, the prices have shot up. And they've shot up for a very simple reason, that the chemicals, agricultural chemicals, have gone up 2-3 times. And that means that the cost of production has gone up on the farm. And at the same time, fuel prices have trebled or more than trebled. And it means that haulage from the farm gate to the centers of consumption have also gone up. So these we don't have control over. These are external factors which are impacting seriously on the price formation.
The minister also stated that the cost of producing crops and meat has shot up due to some external factors. He added that the incessant increment in the price of poultry feed is an example of the impact of these factors. The minister therefore charged commercial banks in the country to contribute meaningfully to agriculture by making available credit facilities to farmers. According to him, it was worrying that banks were reluctant in supporting farmers by making credit facilities available to them to sustain production.
The banks have failed us in agriculture because the banks which are doing business with these poultry farmers should be able to give them credit to sustain their production at those levels or even increase it because there's new opportunity. Unfortunately, the banks have stayed away, and therefore they are having to reduce the level of their production. And their interpretation had been that government, in spite of all what is happening, we hadn't done anything. We took the trouble, more than 1.5 hours, to explain to them what the government is doing to try to rectify the situation. And after the explanation, it was obvious that they were very satisfied with the effort we are making.
Meanwhile, some district agriculture directors have called on the sector minister to assist them with a processing facility to enable them add value to raw materials produced in their district. They also urged government to provide permanent employment for the NAPCO personnel under the Feed Ghana model.
Per the figures that were shown, 2021, we had 7 staff retiring. I just want to ask if it's possible to have employment for them through replacement, so that those retired staff, their details will be used to replace the NAPCO staff, if it is possible.
Usually, a mother's love is talked about widely on the occasion to commemorate Mother's Day, but acknowledging the strength of a father in equal measure is seldom done in heralding Father's Day. Today, such narrative is, however, changing, and as Father's Day is marked, my colleague Rosemary Anyigba shares the story of Jeffrey Ni Ashiedu Afote Oko, a single father who has fought all odds to raise his 6 children after the demise of his wife.
Happy Father's Day to him. Happy Father's Day, Daddy.
Geoffrey Ni Ashiedu Afote Oko, age 67, is a retired electronic engineer who has for some years now taken care of his children after the unfortunate demise of his wife. Inspired by nature, Ni now finds joy in doing animal husbandry as a part-time job. He tells me being a single father is not easy.
It was very terrible. It was not easy at all. You need a wisdom to control the house, because before you were sharing the responsibilities, but now you alone. So you have to sit down, pray to God, and God give you wisdom to control the house.
Ni, who has trained his 6 children to pursue different career paths, such as an accountant, engineer, soldier, designer, and seamstress, shared what it takes to be a good father, on the significance of Father's Day.
Some fathers are very good fathers. Some fathers are not good fathers. Most of them are baby producers. They are not fathers. You can't easily educate your son or your daughter and said you are a father. No, you haven't finished your job. You look after him and make sure he knows exactly what he's doing. Because my younger days, my dad knows me very well. So he knows that most of the time when they put things, old radio, old wireless, when they put it there, I normally used to go and manipulate to see whether I can do something. And most of that, I see the wires and I join it in my hand and it works. So my mom and my dad found out, yes, I can be an electronics engineer. So they sent me to a technical school. I'm one of the best, if not, electronics engineers in my company.
One of his daughters, Christiana, described his father as a man with a good heart.
If I have to say things about him, I don't think we would finish this interview today. I mean, my dad is everything to us, the immediate family, to our extended family, our friends, people who don't even know him. Anytime you come in contact with my dad, there's a memory to live with you. God should bless him, make him grow old and enjoy the fruit of his labor, and to let him know that we love him so much.
He advised other fathers to continue taking care of their children.
My advice is going to the good fathers before I come to the bad fathers. The good fathers should continue to look after their children very, very well. And that will make the whole world to know that there's something called Father's Day to be celebrated. And those people who are not trying, they should try their possible best to look after their children. They shouldn't be a machine of producing babies.
Ni Ashiedu called for a fathers club to be established to educate fathers on the need to be responsible fathers.
If your own is good and your brother's own is not good, your brother's own will be an armed robber and come and attack you. You see? And if you are celebrating those people who are good, who look after their children very well, they enjoy. But the people who doesn't look after their children, they become sad.
It's been a revealing interaction with Mr. Oko Ashiedu Afote, with several lessons for young fathers to note. Wishing him and all fathers out there a happy Father's Day. Reporting for Metro News, Rosemary Anyingba, Accra.
Thanks, Rosemary. Now, still on Father's Day, a businessman, Bepu Francis Kwabena, has shared his view about what fatherhood means to him.
Fatherhood is a great deal to me. I take it personal when it comes to being a father. Yeah, because growing up with my dad, I learned a lot from my dad, and I'm just implementing that as well with the family that I'm building now. Yeah, some of the things I learned from my dad is to be God-fearing, to be God-fearing, and to understand life, that life is all about patience and keeping focus. Whatever you do, you have to do it better for tomorrow, because we don't know what is in tomorrow. Our today determines our tomorrow. So I learned a lot from my dad. To be God-fearing, I'll say, to be God-fearing, to be respectful.
Spoke to my colleague Desmond earlier on Newsbeat. Meanwhile, some ladies from the Aurora Conference have shared their fondest memories with their fathers. According to them, the bar surrounding Father's Day will appreciate with time.
My dad never put a limit to what you could do. He wouldn't say that you must be this. He let us be what we want to be. He wouldn't say you have to go to this school, you have to read this course. He just gave us all that he needed to give us to be what we wanted to be. So those are some of the fondest, taking us out, chatting and stuff. He was a military man, but he wasn't that stiff and strict, I must say.
My fondest memories of my dad, who passed away about 30 years ago though, was when he comes back from work. He was a judge, and we would kind of discuss his cases. And I used the opportunity to learn a lot of vocabulary. So those times with him discussing his cases and his judgments were very special times for me. I think Mother's Day deserves the attention it is getting, and I think Father's Day is also gradually getting there. So year on year, as we acknowledge them on Father's Day, it will also get to the point where it will become like Mother's Day. I think now we are becoming aware that the fathers also need the appreciation, so we are getting there.
So what does Father's Day mean to you as well? Let's now hit our video wall to see what some Guineans have to say about their fathers. And this is from Boy Gucci on Twitter. He says, Father's Day, Stoneboy, giving us good music. You always be ahead of them in everything you do. And this one says, Happy Father's Day to my reliable ATM, my daily hype man and sugar daddy. Yeah, baby loves you so much, Daddy Bruce. God bless you for raising a queen. I miss you. Happy Father's Day once again. We'll go for a quick break. We'll be right back. If you just joined us, this is Newsnight on Metro Television with me, Kenneth Jesse. Now, MP for Yendi constituency, Farouk Aliu Mahama, has constructed and handed over 3 schools to 3 communities in the Yendi constituency of the northern region. This intervention comes after rainstorms destroyed those schools 2 years ago.
Children from Zakole Primary School, Kokong Islamic Primary School, and Nuria Primary School, all in the Yendi municipality of the northern region, started studying under trees after their school buildings were destroyed by rainstorm 2 years ago. Upon hearing their plight, Member of Parliament for the area, Alhaji Farouk Aliu Mahama, intervened. He constructed and handed over some classroom blocks to the schools.
Well, education is something that was very, very dear to my heart, looking at the areas, the Nuri Islam, the Kokong School, and the Zakole School. I looked at the situation, and when I looked at the probable nature of the school, I thought twice as an MP and a responsible one, of course, to construct and renovate a new school that would give the children some facelift and some commitment to their education levels. And that is what a Member of Parliament is supposed to be doing. And today, inshallah, we've been able to finish all the 3 schools, and we're happy, and the people are happy. And obviously, it is part of the responsibility of an MP.
Some of the teachers and students lauded the MP's efforts and promised to take proper care of the facilities.
Actually, when we put it on social media and he saw it, he felt for us, and then he came in and then put it into this nice shape. So we thank him so much for his tireless efforts.
When I was first posted into this school and I saw the nature of the entire school building, I was traumatized. I thought my superior sent me far away to go and suffer. But lo and behold, upon applications and applications, we had the first hand of this very new structure from our MP. That is why we say we really appreciate so much.
Still on education, the Eastern Regional Director of Education, Margaret Insia Asamoah, is urging stakeholders in the educational sector to pay attention to coaching and mentoring of learners. She stressed that it is a way of boosting academic self-confidence of students to be able to take their rightful place in the era of technology. As part of efforts to help raise the standards of education in the Buakwa South municipality, the Registrar of the Scholarship Secretariat, Kingsley Ajaman, has launched 2 educational programs, christened Kingsley Quizzes and Time with Kingsley series. The quiz will take the form of math and science quizzes and spelling challenge, while the other will be a mentoring and coaching program. In all, 76 junior high schools will take part in the math and science quizzes, with 92 primary schools taking part in the spelling challenge. The 6 senior high schools in the municipality will benefit from the coaching and mentoring program. Speaking at the launch, the Eastern Regional Director of Education hinted that mentorship and coaching of students would go a long way to equip them for success ahead.
Coaching boosts the academic self-confidence of students. I dare to say these are laudable initiatives that seek to prepare our future leaders to take their rightful places in this era of technology.
The registrar of the Scholarship Secretariat, Kingsley Ajaman, intimated that the government had done its part in making education free, and so other stakeholders must provide key interventions to lubricate the initiative. He hinted that key personalities of the various industries would be invited to coach and mentor the students with ample time for questions.
Any great leader thanks to His Excellency the President of the Republic for making free education not just a constitutional provision, but making it very much workable in our time. He has done that. It behoves on we, the other active participants in education, to make sure that certain key interventions also comes in to lubricate this laudable idea or this laudable initiative by His Excellency the President. Hence, the Kingsley Math and Science Quiz 3rd edition.
The Regional Director of Education applauded the initiative and called for its replication in other parts of the region. Away from education, Minority Leader Haruna Idrisu has called on landlords across the northern region to do rigorous background checks on potential tenants before indulging them. According to him, doing due diligence will reduce the rate of imported crimes in the region. The Minority Leader in Parliament, Haruna Idrisu, who doubles as the Member of Parliament for Tamale South constituency, is worried about the growing insecurities in the northern region, calling on stakeholders, most especially landlords, to study strangers very well before giving them accommodation in order to help the security services fight against this development. He said this when he handed over a fully furnished health facility to the people of Adubliili and its surrounding communities in the Tamale metropolis.
I need to call on the community chiefs and elders to also do their best. Tamale is fast expanding, but we are getting too many strange visitors and strangers. We should be careful as landlords who we give our homes to, what they do and what they come back home with. Policing is a shared responsibility. I believe that the crime in Tamale is largely imported because of the strangers we are accommodating and our inability to police their movement, engage what they do and what they do not do.
On his part, the Tamale Metropolitan Health Director, Dr. Hilarious Abewu, said the growing number of people within the metropolis requires more health facilities in order to be able to attend to the health needs of the people. Residents of Adubliili expressed their gratitude to the Minority Leader, explaining how they used to suffer, most especially pregnant women, whenever there was the need to access a health facility.
Recognizing that Tamale Metro has 41 electoral areas, we will need a minimum of our 41 chiefs compounds. So, together, we engaged the Honorable Minority Leader and Member of Parliament, and also the Member of Parliament for Tamale Central. Together, these two MPs have dedicated themselves and committed to providing as many healthcare facilities as possible within the Tamale Metro. And to this, we are extremely grateful.
Don't go anywhere because we have more stories coming up after the break. Hello again. Business News is next. Business tonight, the Finance Ministry has signed a $25 million credit facility with the government of India, represented by the Exim Bank of India, for the establishment of an assembly plant at Esienimpong in the Ashanti region. Ghana is expected to start the assembling of agricultural implements to support smallholder farmers, improve and diversify the agriculture sector, and create jobs for many Ghanaians. The amount will be used for the building of the structure for the assembling plant, supply of knockdowns and fabrication of agric implements, the construction and installations of plants and machinery and other civil works are expected to be completed in 18 months for the assembling of tractors, backhoe loaders, power tillers, power reapers, power pumps, and paddy threshers in the country. About 4,500 tractors, 600 backhoe loaders, 6,000 disc harrow and plows, 3,000 power tillers are expected to be assembled in the country annually. It is expected that the products will be exported to neighboring African countries to generate income for Ghana. This will support agricultural mechanism, reduce the importation of foreign goods, and lessen inflationary and exchange rate pressures and create more jobs in the agric value chain to reduce poverty. The finance minister said the project was in line with government's initiatives to formalize the Ghanaian economy and improve the agricultural sector, diversify the country's manufacturing base, and overhaul its development agenda. The price of Bitcoin fell below $20,000 for the first time since late 2020. In a new sign, the sell-off in cryptocurrencies is deepening.
Bitcoin, the most popular cryptocurrency, fell below the psychologically important threshold, dropping as much as 9% to less than $19,000, according to CoinDesk, a United States-based exchange platform. Ethereum, another widely followed cryptocurrency that has been sliding in recent weeks, took a similar tumble on Saturday. It is selling off riskier assets because central banks are raising interest rates to combat quickening inflation. Cryptocurrency lending platform Celsius Network said this month it was pausing all withdrawals and transfers with no sign of when it would give its 1.7 million customers access to their funds. USDT, a stable coin on the Terra ecosystem, imploded last month, easing tens of billions of dollars in a matter of hours. The sector has also suffered losses after companies such as Coinbase Global Incorporated, Gemini, and BlockFi said they would lay off thousands of employees as investors ditch risky assets.
That's it for business. Sports news is next. And in sports tonight, King Faisal managed to escape from relegation in the Ghana Premier League after beating Legon Cities 2-1 in a thrilling Week 34 match played at the Babaya Sports Stadium in Kumasi.
Good recovery there by Nasiru Moro, but King Faisal have an opportunity in the 18-yard box. Ooh, blasted wide, but they still keep it in play. Yes, Baba. Lines up for a drive and it goes wide. And Legon Cities get the ball out of danger zone, but not quite. King Faisal comes forward. It's a drive on target. It took a deflection, and that's the first goal. Yeah, Saki can't stop that one due to the deflection, but that was a thunderbolt of a shot from David Opong. They're coming forward in numbers now as they're looking at opportunities of striking for a second goal. The cross is on. Oh, brought the ball down nicely. Was a handball. Referee was right on the spot. But it's Enoch Morrison. Penalty. He takes it nicely and gets King Faisal a second goal.
Meanwhile, league champions Kumasi Asante Kotoko wrapped up their campaign with a 1-1 draw against Accra Lions at the Accra Sports Stadium.
Yeah, I think it's a fair result. I think we had our chances, especially in the first half. We were very dominant in the first half, created some few, though not full chances, but half chances that we could have taken advantage of. I mean, the second half, I think they came in, especially when they got their goal. So when they got their goal, they sat back and decided to knock the ball around. Somewhere around that time, I think we lost our shape, so we gave them those spaces to operate. But then we did a few substitutions, but we needed to score. So we were down, and we had to do some changes. So we sacrificed Nete for Evans. And we asked Boateng to go and adapt to Mbella. And I think when we did those changes, we got some spaces to play.
Yeah, well, I think we deserve win. We play very good, and yeah, it's part of the game that one have to make mistake. I mean, we have a very young team. I mean, this kind of mistake they have to do to learn from it. So I think points against champions is okay for us.
We're back with entertainment and international news. Stay tuned. Welcome back. Entertainment news is next. Online music streaming platform Spotify has released a mini documentary capturing multiple award-winning American rapper Kendrick Lamar's visit to Ghana last month. The rapper was in Ghana ahead of the release of his album, Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers.
First time in Ghana. I couldn't even tell you what day it is. I've just been in the moment. You walk.
To the kids about so far?
Just about them being here, how I make them feel to be over here, and Virgil, what he means to them, you know, as far as letting them have this creative space for them to enjoy themselves. That's special.
You walk around like everything is it. You always reveal a lot, but it sounds like your most personal body of work.
Yeah, this is my most present. It's life, it's all about an experience. And everybody got their own different experience. Yeah, it really is, man. And it's a collective too, because we all carry the same energy. Everything that we do out here, everything that we say, everything that's been done, is all a representation of all of us, bro.
This is what the world sounds.
Now, the reigning VGMA Artist of the Year, Kitty's Touch It song has been awarded platinum status in India. The artist made this public on Twitter. He captioned his post with the words, "My first platinum record, one word, grateful. Cheers to more to come." So far, Kitty's Touch It is his most popular and successful song. Touch It was nominated in the Outstanding International Song category at the NAACP Image Awards and also won the Best Reggae Dancehall Song at this year's VGMA. And just before we go for our international news, let's bring you another story as a book professing recommendations and techniques to aid communities in rapidly eradicating environmental problems has been launched in Accra.
The 137-page book emphasizes the need for creative ideas to help bridge the gap between authorities and the people they lead in order to deal with sanitation challenges in the country. Vice-Chancellor of the Pentecost University, Apostle Professor Ejapon Kodua, described the book as timely.
We started this project 3 days ago after reading the book, and the good news is that yesterday's rain was no longer a threat to the university. Our drains were ready for it. This is what I mean by we can all achieve it if we take our time to study the recommendations our dear Apostle has provided. I am convinced that Apostle Davidson has provided to the Ghanaian community and the world a toolbox for the rapid eradication of our environmental problems.
Commending the author, the mayor of Accra, Elizabeth Saki, emphasized the need for attitudinal change, particularly towards the environment.
In all humility, I want to plead that we all together, as has been said, a collective action, collective attitude will bring and lift our nation on high, lift up the banner of Ghana.
Emma Apia Osei Diao is the Director of Corporate Affairs for Zoomlion Ghana Limited.
He's riding on the fact that environmental management is a shared responsibility, and that is true. So involving the chiefs, involving the custodians of the land helps for everybody to be a party to the environmental management, and that makes our environments clean. In fact, to manage your environment is your personal responsibility, is my personal responsibility, which when we seek to do, we draw God's blessings to us.
On his part, the author of the book, Apostle Samuel Ezi Davidson, said the recommendations made will greatly help in dealing with the sanitation menace.
Also in the book, we recommended that waste is wealth. People don't know. And so in the book, you realize that the plastics, the waste that we carry along, which we don't respect, should be well kept in a bin so that it can be well disposed of. And then also, those who would want to recycle the products could even come to you when you have segregated the waste very well. They could come to you and then buy it from you so that they can go and then reprocess it. So we've recommended that waste is wealth.
Some of the highlights of the book include seeking to get leaders of churches, imams, local government authorities, students, traders, among others, to influence the citizenry to own the environmental care campaign.
International news is next. Let's take you to Europe, where firefighters in Spain and Germany are struggling to contain wildfires amid a heat wave in Western Europe, unusual for this time of the year. The worst damage in Spain has been in the northwest province of Zamora, where more than 25,000 hectares have been consumed by flames, regional authorities said on Sunday. German officials said residents of 3 villages near Berlin were ordered to leave their homes on Sunday because of an approaching wildfire. That's it for now, but before we go, a look again at our top stories. NADMO goes to the aid of occupants of over 100 houses flattened through the overflow of rivers in the Komenda Edina Eguafu Ebre municipality of the Central Region. Dairy processors decry high cost of factors of production, announce imminent increment in prices. And today, being Father's Day, we told you the inspiring and heroic stories, children's experiences, and fond memories of their fathers, plus lessons for young and potential fathers. More jobs set to be created as Finance Ministry signs a $25 million credit facility with the government of India. We also took you to Europe, where firefighters in Spain and Germany are struggling to contain wildfires amid a heat wave in Western Europe, which is unusual for this time of the year. My name is Kenneth Jesse. Thanks for watching. Have a good night.